Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from the Purple Room in TGIA Tower in Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank.
And I'm Dan.
Coming up today, we're going to talk about Mormons and Jews.
Mormons and Jews, Mormons and Jews. I don't know what that is. There you go. That's the song.
It sounds like one is for the...
There should be
a song that...
there should be a version of what's the song? Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah.
For Mormons and Jews. Mormonry and Jewery
go together like perfect.
There's no way that they go together, really. Except that they do. And
They do-ish.
Ish.
They do.
We'll be talking about them.
Yeah.
The Mo's and the J's.
Yep.
I don't know.
M's and J's.
Is that a thing? Anyway, there you go.
Yeah. All right, Dan.
What do you got?
Oh, I was just about to ask you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go then.
No, you go. I go. I'll go.
Okay, go.
All right. Well, we've talked about something like this before,
Oh.
but I just loved it because of the execution of this one. Way back in the TGIA history, we talked about a drive-thru prayer thing.
Sure.
You go get a drive-thru prayer at this church down somewhere. Right.
Because someone else has to pray for you, or because
Yeah, and just the idea of like you can't even get out of your car.
Right. Yes.
To get a prayer.
I really need a prayer, but I don't want to walk into church. What am I gonna do?
Well, a lot of different churches throughout the country, in fact, have opened up drive-through little church operation prayer things.
Nice.
They've happened in Wichita and Richmond, Virginia, Aurora, Illinois, and Modesto, California. Even has one. All fine places.
From what I've heard about Modesto, they really do need prayer.
It's one of the places in this world that needs someone to be praying for it. Well, this one is taking place in where was it happening? In Voorhees.
Voorhees where?
I don't know the state.
Okay. Voorhees.
Voorhees.
Have you guys been to Voorhees?
Voorhees.
Sure.
It just says Voorhees. It's assuming that you're a local. It's Philly.com, so I'm assuming it must be
Voorhees, Pennsylvania.
I would guess.
Okay.
But anyways, this one, there was an old bank next to Hope United Methodist Church in Voorhees. No state mentioned. Thank you. So of course, what do banks have? Well, they have drive-through tellers. And so they decided, well, why not do a little drive-through praying where people used to do some drive-through banking, and it shows the little prayer drawer out, the little deposit drawer,
sure,
the little Diebold,
right,
a little thing. It slides out, the thing opens, you put your money in, blah blah blah, the teller, la la la, and it has two smiling women behind the prayer drawer, and it has a little prayer card that you can fill out, and it's just lovely. And here's some wonderful quotes. This is from Hope's lead pastor, Jeff Bills. People go to Dunkin' Donuts for coffee, not because it's the best coffee, but because it's the most convenient.
Right.
Let that settle in for a minute. Their prayers clearly are not the best.
They're just the most convenient.
They're the most convenient. That's high praise for these prayers.
Look, I don't have time for a sit-down prayer. Okay, I'd love to. I wish I did. I wish I had time to go into a really nice church and get myself a good sit down, slow, organic, well cooked vegan prayer. I don't have time for that. I'm on the go. I need a prayer now, and
Absolutely.
I need it fast.
Yeah. Then and well, you can get one, Dan.
Oh, good.
I do think they need to offer more services than just prayers.
Prayer. Yeah, absolutely.
it isn't a former bank,
right? Do they have a dollar menu? Like,
what kind of food could you fit in one of those vacuum canisters?
If you want a big elaborate prayer where everybody in your family's covered, that's great. But if you want just a quick, I hope grandma's hip replacement goes well.
Right.
It seems like $1.
That's like $1 prayer.
Yeah, that seems like maybe $1. You know what I mean? Like if you want world peace, that's going to be an expensive prayer. But if you just want something quick and easy, just like I hope my sister's wedding goes well.
Right.
That's just $1 menu prayer. I'm thinking.
Well, I thought you were meaning like food, because you could fit like 10 burgers in one of those little canisters, just stacked up real nice. Yeah.
In the pneumatic tubes.
Yeah.
I want to go to that restaurant. I don't even care about the prayer thing now.
Tubes restaurant.
Now, it's called Tubes. I'd like a tube of burger. I'd like a tube of French fries. And a tube of shake.
You could figure that out.
Sure.
Why couldn't you figure that out?
I think the name of the place should be called Thum. I don't know how you spell it, but
there's a TH in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem though that I've seen with a lot of these drive-through prayer places is their hours.
Oh.
These people don't understand. You have to make it available.
Yeah.
Or else it's never going to really catch on.
Sure.
They're open like Wednesday afternoons.
What?
And I remember this being a critique that we had of that other one, which was it was weird hours.
They just don't get it.
If it's a drive-through prayer thing, it's about convenience.
Yeah.
So you need extended hours.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
And it could only be for a few hours a day, but it has to be at least 5 days a week.
P.S. The only Voorhees town that I've been able to find is in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
We'll call it Jersey.
Okay. Then why is it on Philly.com?
Just shut up. I don't know.
And
anyway,
why on Philly.com are they not specifying the state this is in?
Philly.com. Will you get your act together?
Anyway,
there you go. Go drive. If you're in Jersey, go get yourself a prayer.
Yeah.
It won't hurt you.
They look like sweet ladies.
Sure.
You
Go and ask them to pray for your soul. Pray for me. I'm an atheist.
You're in New Jersey, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the home of the American atheists.
It is.
It's all atheists there.
I know.
The entire state's atheist.
That's not true.
No, it's not. I'm going to take us down south. The Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, which is the flagship school
Southwest Baptist
of the Southern Baptist Convention.
Oh, okay. They are Southern Baptists. Okay.
They are Southern Baptist, and it is this is the flagship school. It's in Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
They've just admitted a new student.
Oh.
And caused a bit of controversy.
How?
Well, he's a Muslim.
What?
Ghassan Nagagre.
What is he doing?
He's a Palestinian Muslim. He recently completed his first year of doctoral studies at the seminary. So here's the deal. He was working on an archaeological dig in Israel with them.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of volunteers that aren't necessarily associated with them.
Okay.
And just got interested in maybe getting his PhD and approached the school and was like, hey, what do you think? And
okay. And how is this whole thing gone?
Well,
I mean, this is in the news, so something happened.
The president said the young man asked about the PhD program, and I told him we don't normally admit non-born again believers to the seminary, but there is no reason we can't.
We just never had this happen before.
Nobody's asked. Which makes sense, because why the fuck would you want to go there? It's not like
he liked the people. He didn't know what he was getting.
Right.
One brand of Christianity for him is going to be just like the other. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't know that
and
they're the batshit crazy ones.
And he probably, I hate to say it, but if he's a Palestinian who met them all in Israel working on an archaeological site, nobody told him this is not an accredited university. Anyway,
so just in the interest of full disclosure,
Yeah, exactly.
We should probably let you know you can't do anything with this
Nobody
degree.
will respect this degree except other Southern Baptists. But you go right ahead. Yeah, give us your money. It'll be great. There has been some controversy, yes. So,
yes.
a couple of some people have been writing that this is, of course, tainting the reputation of the institution.
Why? It means that they're an open and accepting organization that's
correct,
willing to take money from anyone.
Right.
I mean, that
taints their reputation.
That really?
Well, come on. I mean, since when do Christian, Bible thumping Christians want to be open and welcoming?
I thought that was their whole thing. I mean, this is like a backdoor. This is a way to get somebody in and try to convert him.
Well, that's one of the arguments that the president of the university made. But other people are saying there's for instance, one blogger wrote that he was upset because not only do we have decisions being made secretly and by presidential fiat, we have not addressed the possible use of cooperative funds being used for the education of a practicing Muslim.
Ooh, what is he going to go do with these Christian teachings?
Terrorists. He's going to be a terrorist, but he'll have the secret handshakes that the Christians all know.
Most of them don't have secret handshakes.
No, it's only the Mormons. Yeah, I think it's hilarious. Poor guy's going to get a worthless degree, and in the meantime, everyone's going to hate him and look at him askance.
Maybe he was just trying to immigrate to the United States.
Right?
I don't want to be a complete cynic here, but
that's a couple of years of visa.
Yeah, Bible schools can totally get you a visa,
right? And when if he goes back to the Holy Land, he can. It's not like they're going to check to see whether his school's accredited. They might raise an eyebrow when he shows up with his PhD from Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary.
I do want to know what his plan was. What was he? I mean, he had to know that he was getting a religious degree. So what was his plan to do with, what was he going to do with that degree? Because, I mean, he's not a complete fool.
No.
He would have to know that it's not the most useful thing in the universe.
No, you tell me.
Go be a tour guide?
I got to say,
he would know
most of the college students
the shit at that point.
Most of the college students that I know don't know jack shit about why they're in college either. They're just,
especially probably the PhD.
They're just getting the degrees,
and then the non-sciences,
and then hoping that it'll work out in the end. I think this will lead to something. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely the non-sciencey ones.
Yeah,
the sciencey ones. I think I'm jealous of those kids because they got it all figured out. And I was always just like, I don't know. I'm doing this because
you're like, I like
it's
films.
College,
and
you're supposed to go to college.
Pretty sure you're supposed to get a degree, right?
Yeah.
By the way, to the young people listening, I would recommend you don't go to college unless you have a specific path. You're spending way too much money, and if you don't know what you're going to do,
have a goal. I knew what I wanted to do.
Okay,
and I'm more or less in some way doing it. I make film.
Yeah,
I do.
I
just have to have a job to support that.
Right.
Expensive habit. So.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Well, there you go. What do you got?
I'm gonna stick with the whole Bible thing.
Okay.
And this is Dan. Brace yourself.
All right.
Okay. Are you braced?
Okay. I'm prepped. Wait. Hold on. Okay. Go.
The folks at the Bible Museum in Kentucky, the Creation Museum.
Sure, the one run by Answers in Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Ham's
that's the one. Yeah.
Thing.
They have a dinosaur skeleton that proves the biblical flood happened 4,300 years ago.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
I've been looking for that. Proof. Now I can go back to being a Christian.
Yeah.
Don't tell me anymore because that's all I want. I need to go back to being a Christian, and I have a sneaking suspicion that if you tell me any more, I'm not going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
Okay. It's an Allosaurus.
Yeah, sure.
Which
that's the big
yeah. Looks like a T-Rex.
T-Rex looking guy. Yeah.
It was found in Colorado over a decade ago, and it's been donated to the museum from a some woman who just died, her foundation or something or other. But nonetheless,
Good use of funds. Good use of funds.
This this is the one that proves it.
Okay, so how do they prove it?
Because it was around when the flood happened. That's the proof.
How do they know that?
Because that's what Ken Ham's saying.
Surely they're providing something that they call evidence.
I don't think so.
Well, if that's not faith promoting, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Meaning they're promoting the fact that you have to have faith.
This is what Ham says. He says evolutionists use dinosaurs to teach children. Wait. No, I'm sorry. To reach children more than anything else to promote their worldview.
Right.
Our museum uses dinosaurs to help tell their true history according to the Bible. So what all they're doing is they're putting this thing in a big diorama, and get the kids all fascinated. Dinosaur,
right?
Because kids love dinosaurs. We know this,
right? Yeah, kids love dinosaurs.
Kids love dinosaurs.
So they're just using the same trick.
So they're using the same trick, and they're slipping in Bible stories.
Well, we saw that same thing in Dallas.
That's all they were doing
when we went to the dinky little creation museum at that one school. What was the school? Do you remember the name of the school that it was located in?
I don't know, the Dallas Bible School.
It was something. It was some Bible college in Dallas that we went to.
It was like New World something or other, New Faith.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was like look at our cult Bible school.
Yeah, it felt compoundy. By the way,
it felt really culty.
Yeah.
And but they had a whole bunch of real fossils and they had an Albertosaurus skeleton, and they were talking about all of the ways that proved that we, of course, they were more clever. They just said that what it proved was that dinosaur scientists change their mind sometimes.
Yeah, that's
about what
this is what they used to say.
And
this is what they say.
Now
this is what
they believe
some
this.
people are saying now.
Right.
And they're the only ones saying it.
Right, of course. Some people, like the guy that runs this museum, say. And so, yeah, it becomes this thing of like...
And it's like, well, how do you know? Well, only God has the answers. Only the Bible. Like, that's what it all goes back to.
Right, exactly.
It's used as an object lesson.
But they're pretty clever about it. Like, they're pretty clever. They had some good lines about like... Well, so obviously the evolutionists and the scientists don't know for sure, and we don't know for sure. So it's just so it's a 50-50 shot. Could go one way, could go the other way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got some quotes from the article.
Okay.
Daniel Phelps, president of the Kentucky Paleontological Society, said in a release Thursday that the Creation Museum, quote, has decided without doing research that the dinosaur fossil is evidence of Noah's flood. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is just going, you asked me if there was evidence, or what are they saying?
Right.
Is evidence? No, there is none. And Michael Perutka, a member of the foundation which runs the museum, and the Constitution Party's candidate for president in 2004, said the fossil, quote, is a testimony to the creative power of God in designing dinosaurs. And it also lends evidence to the truth of a worldwide catastrophic flooding in the earth in Noah's time. So they're saying the way that this thing died was because of the flood, right? Clearly. And Nye actually, during their little debate, the Ham-Nye debate, he sort of said, if he pointed out that if there had been a big flood, you would expect drowning animals to swim up to higher levels,
right?
Which is where they would have their bones would have mingled with fossils known from a later time period.
Sure,
and that just isn't the case. Their bones are always found in the time period where they are supposed to be.
Right.
Period.
Well, the floods are tricky. I don't think Bill Nye really understands the complexities of flood dynamics.
There's a lot of currents that like shift those dead carcasses all over the place.
Right. But but down. They always move them down.
To where to the Jurassic
to
period.
Jurassic period
or
sediment.
whatever period it's supposed to be.
Oh boy.
So anyways, I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Proven Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm going to take us to Sioux City, Iowa, where there is where there are plans for a new public park.
In Sioux City, okay.
Sounds really nice. Nice grass areas.
Everybody
and
loves a
stuff.
park. Yeah.
It's been granted $140,000 to get this thing rolling, but for some reason the FFRF wants them not to do it.
Why? What could they possibly have against a park?
It's a Christian park, completely and totally Christian.
How is it? How could a park possibly be Christian?
Basically, it's planned to have like a walk with religious with the
Stations of the Cross.
Well, sort of like scriptures all the way around, and it's meant to be a place to reflect and come to Jesus.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Quite specifically, that's what it's meant to be. It was. Where did I find the thing?
This was being built on public land?
By public funds.
By public funds.
There was a grant that grant of $140,000. This is called the Shepherd's Garden, by the way.
Oh, that's a lovely.
Isn't
name.
that a nice thing?
Shepherd's
And
Garden.
it's intended. So it was granted by the Iowa Economic Development Authority to build a quote permanent Christian green space.
Wait. What? Okay, who is this economic development authority
That's a
linked to?
That's a government agency.
For sure, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, it could just be something with an official sounding name.
No.
It's official.
Yeah. So.
What?
So they're
What?
which is why the FFRF is getting involved.
What?
Yeah.
None of this makes any sense.
Yeah, the board apparently was totally aware of the plans for the park. That they would include a stone path with Bible verses, prayer spaces, and a walk of faith walkway.
Wow.
Isn't that something? So they're reconsidering it.
Yeah.
The board will review the public grant
Huh.
that was awarded.
There's a park here in town. Of course, it wasn't built with public funds, but Gilgal. I mean, it's more of a heritage thing that the city's preserving.
Right.
But, like, it's totally religious in its inception.
And it's crazy.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's amazing.
That's why everybody in the city was like, yes, please, preserve that.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
It's batshit crazy
It's
nuts.
nutball. By the way, if you are in Salt Lake or if you are visiting Salt Lake City and you don't track down and go to Gilgal Gardens,
Yeah.
you have made a mistake in your life. Because that place is hilarious. I'll just give you the lead into it. One of the first things you see as you walk in is a sphinx carved out of stone with Joseph Smith's face.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
And it just keeps going.
It just keeps going.
That park is crazy.
It's it was created by one man,
Yeah.
and he was a nut.
And it was his backyard, and it was going to be developed, and people got like the city to buy it. And I think it's totally appropriate.
It's so amazing. It's definitely worth going. Anyway, yeah. They apply. Yeah. So apparently this was a Vision Iowa grant that they applied for.
Vision Iowa.
And they said they did not hide the fact that they were trying to make that there would be a spiritual element to the park design. But at the same time, we took out all costs associated with religious symbols or the like from their application. So they think that they got away with it.
Oh, so just like the grass and the development of the site is being paid for.
Right.
And then the rest of all that's just
And then all the other stuff is just paid for by individual donors.
Yeah.
How could anyone object to that?
I don't see how.
Furf. Get your act together. It's just a nice park.
Lovely.
That no one in our position would feel comfortable in.
No.
Yeah. There should be a philosopher's corner type place in the park where like you can get on your soapbox and start yelling about crazy religious stuff.
Or at least just a good dog park.
Just poop.
Good dog run.
If you're in Sioux City, and it ends up going through. Go ahead and take your dogs there and
It's an off-leash dog park.
let them poop. Anyway, what do you got?
My final story.
Dun dun dun.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
There's a problem in this world.
Mm.
And it's the desecration of cemeteries.
Oh,
Horrible problem.
I hate it when people do that.
This is not a victimless crime,
All the victims are dead,
but they're victims.
but they're still. Well, no, the victims are the surviving people.
Yeah, and I guess there is a problem. This is true. There is a problem with cemetery desecration of sort of the religious parts of certain cemeteries.
Really?
Yeah, like
You know
the
what?
Jewish part.
Oh,
We'll have
God.
like anti-Jewy things happen in it,
Gross.
which is awful, and that is absolutely that's
not okay.
I was going to say hate crime.
It
And who
kind of
knows?
is.
It kind of probably
It kind of
is.
is.
Because the people, the members of that community who show up to visit their
Right.
loved ones, the site of their loved one's interment, they're obviously going to be quite intimidated by that, and that's the whole point of that kind of stuff. But anyways, so the U.S. House of Representatives
Mm-hmm.
on Wednesday, so May 28th, passed a bill that makes desecrating crimes a violation of religious rights. Graves. Desecrating graves.
Right.
A violation of religious crimes.
Huh.
And so now it's going to go to the Senate. And basically what it's doing is there's the International Religious Freedom Act of 1998
Sure.
that I don't know everything that entailed, but they're adding this to that act so that the U.S. can impose penalties on foreign nations and individuals for acts of cemetery desecration.
That's okay. You got to figure that 90% of cemetery desecration is teenagers being all like, "Wah!" crazy and whatever.
In this country,
sure, yeah.
but this has international targets.
Yeah.
So I would think that, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I
don't know in what setting this could possibly be useful, but
well, there you go.
well,
The thing is that what's happening is that people are like extra. I mean, it's extra offensive to desecrate a grave. It really is. It's
pretty bad. But I think about, this is clearly, I kind of, my initial reaction, I don't know if it's the right one or not, but I was like, well, what are they going to, what if somebody desecrated my atheist grave?
Yeah.
That's not necessarily religiously motivated. I mean, it is, but isn't.
Right. Well, first of all, do you have the word atheist on your grave?
I might.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
why
enough.
not?
Sure.
Why would I not?
Sure.
At this point, Dan.
Yeah, I mean,
what is
we devote
the most notable thing I've done?
Right. We've devoted many hours weekly to our atheism. We might as well throw it on there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Frank Feldman, atheist.
Fuck your God.
Dog owner.
Dog owner and atheist.
Usually they say something like father. And,
right, exactly.
And so it's like, no, I'm a son, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
An atheist.
Yeah. All right.
So,
I'll make sure that gets on your gravestone.
Yeah. So if somebody desecrates that, I want them prosecuted in some sort of hate crime fashion.
Under this law.
I would like that. Yeah.
Sure.
So it would be best if I was buried someplace internationally.
Yeah.
So that the U.S. Congress can go after these people.
Right.
These assholes who would dare desecrate my grave. It's really about Jewish cemeteries.
Right.
That's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
So, I have sympathy for that, but at the same time, I'm just like, really? Are we really? I don't know.
Well, there you go.
I don't know. Am I crazy? We're not really caring?
Yeah.
I think that it's a waste of time?
I don't know. I don't know enough about the problem.
I guess I don't either.
To know if that's a thing or not. It seems like desecrating a grave should already... it's already illegal, right?
Yeah.
So...
I don't know why
not
we
enough?
need the U.S. Congress saying you know,
because the U.S.
more.
Congress needs to grandstand to show their support for Israel in any way that they possibly can.
And they're running out of ways.
They're running out of ways. They're like, what can I do? I don't know. And then they read some news article about a grave getting desecrated, and they're like,
that's the issue.
I've got it. I need to now. I can finally go and have that fundraising dinner with the American Jewish Council or whatever, and show how pro-Jew I am.
Yeah.
Anyway,
pro-Jew. We're gonna be talking about that.
We are. We are
pro-Jews.
Well, Jew. Wait.
Judeophile.
Judeophilia. That's what we're going to talk about.
Ooh, come here. Come sit on Uncle's lap.
No, Herschel, don't go near him. He's a Judeophile. The man across the street, he looks nice, but he's a Judeophile. You don't want to go near him.
Don't take any candy.
It is kosher, but you don't want to go near him. Well, okay, so I'm going to talk about...
Oh, you have another one?
I have one more.
I have to sit through another one?
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Okay.
India...
Better be.
One of India's wealthiest spiritual leaders will have his fate decided by a court.
Okay.
Soon.
Okay.
There's a lot at stake. His whole estate valued at here at over 100 million pounds, English pounds.
What?
So
he's a guru?
Yeah.
So is he like selling DVDs online or something?
No, but he's got a sect.
How does he raise that much money?
He's got his own little sect called the Diva Jyoti Jagrati Sansthan sect.
It's a beautiful name.
It really is. And I think, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I nailed the pronunciation.
Got it right. Yeah.
I think I nailed
it.
All
right, well, cool.
There's a bit of an issue. His followers claim that he has been in a deep state of meditation, and therefore has not been able to speak for himself. His family, however, claims that he had a heart attack and died last January.
What?
So there's a bit of a discrepancy in the stories. He's been in a freezer since January.
In a deep meditative state?
Yes, according to a court
frozen.
Yes, there will be a court ruling on whether he is in fact meditating, as is claimed by his followers, who I think just want to be able to use the grounds of his beautiful estate and probably his money.
Yeah, well.
And his family, who is saying, he's dead.
And we just want the money.
We just want him to be dead so that we can divvy this up and cremate him in the fashion that we're supposed to do, and actually do all of the rites and things and actually finally be done with this.
No way. A frozen guru.
Yeah, he's a guru sickle. He's totally, I just love that there's a court that has to rule on whether a dude is dead or meditating.
Wow.
That's
impressive.
It's a pretty deep meditation at this point, I think. He's gone deep.
I would be impressed. Some of these guys, they can suppress their, they go into a state that looks dead.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
I've heard of that. I've heard that happens.
And
I believe it.
They say that you can control your autonomic functions, like your heart not beating anymore. Or
so maybe he just shut it down, and he was like, everyone.
He's like,
put me in the freezer.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut everything down, put me in the freezer, and then thaw me.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll hear a knocking at the door.
Right. When I'm done, I'll be chilly. So have a blanket ready. Maybe some cocoa, some chai.
Some I don't even know what. Some meat tenderizer.
What do you give a man who's been frozen for several months?
I don't know.
In deep meditation.
A lukewarm bath.
I think a death certificate.
You don't want to go too quick with it. Start it off, you got to slowly warm him up.
Right. Yeah, I think you just give him a death certificate and call it done.
What if it works? Dan, what if it works?
What if the court pronounces him dead and then he comes out?
Yeah,
He's
that's
like,
what I'm
"Hey."
saying when they thaw him.
Hey, where's my shit at? You guys, what? You just took it?
I was hibernating.
My followers told you I was just
I
meditating.
left instructions.
I don't know what you guys are doing, but you got to meditate pretty hard to get to meditate your way out of a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably said, "Put me in the freezer quick, because I got to do some deep meditation, because I'm about to die." Oh, I just died. Quick, get me in the freezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right. Well, if you'd like to chime in on this or anything else that we've talked about today, you can email us. Our email address is podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
But that's not the only way to contact us,
No, not
dear
at all.
listener. You can get your voice onto the show with a question by calling our voicemail, which is 424-666-8442.
Or you can also join the conversation that's happening every week on Facebook. That's facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
Yeah.
And there's posts about the show and other fun stuff.
all
You
these
like
things.
us, shows up in your feed.
You will learn.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
If you go there.
Yeah, kind of.
Sort of. Ish.
All right. Well, we have a fun little clip of audio to play. This is it's going to start off with a woman who I've never heard of before, and it's not even that important, but she's sort of speaking to us via the internet on some show. And
we've got all the details ready for you.
Boy, they are. But her name is Janet Porter, if that means anything to anybody. And she's talking about Jason Collins, the NBA basketball player.
And be gay.
who came out as a homosexual.
Yeah.
At the end of the 2013 season. And so we're just going to let that play, and then some fun stuff comes in. Who was it that came in at the end? I can't remember.
Some dude.
Oh, yeah, it's just that dude. I don't know his name.
Okay.
So we'll just play it.
Okay.
Jason Collins is actually an identical twin. He is now the poster child for homosexuality in the NBA, or I think that's his claim to fame, right? Well, what people don't realize is that he has an identical brother who is a heterosexual. Now, that flies in the face of everything they want us to believe. They say that it's genetic, you're born that way, this is part of your DNA. Well, guess what? Identical twins have identical genes. If one has blue eyes, the other has blue eyes. That would stand to reason if one is homosexual. If it were genetic, the other would be homosexual. And quite honestly, he makes the case that you're not born that way, that this is a choice he's made, and it's a choice that is very dangerous physically, and it's very dangerous as we see to our freedoms in the nation.
You're absolutely right. And if you have twin brothers who are genetically identical, but one of them is demon-possessed and the other one is not, then it's possible that one is going to be addicted to all kinds of sin and the other one is not. So there's a spiritual root behind these kind of problems.
Demon-possessed and therefore addicted to sin.
Yeah.
That's what you are, Franklin. How's that demon treating you?
Pretty nice.
Yeah? You're enjoying it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. If I could get me a demon, whew, that just sounds great.
You don't know what's possible once you have a demon inside you.
Although I don't think I like the idea of being addicted to sin. I'd like to just try some sinning without the. Is there non-addictive sin?
You know, there's you can be in a functional. Like with alcoholism, you can be a functional alcoholic.
A functional sinaholic?
Yeah, a functional homosexual.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Someone who can make it in the real world and get by.
Get by just fine. It doesn't get too much in the way, but boy, are you addicted.
Oh yeah.
Boy, it's something else.
You cannot stop.
Boy, howdy.
That Collins boy. That poor,
Proves it.
It proves it.
He proves it.
Although I think you and I stumbled on, when we were talking about this, the answer to their claim.
Oh, what's that?
Because we looked up him and his brother.
Oh yeah.
And one is an inch taller than the other.
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, the gay one.
The gay one
taller.
is an inch taller than.
You got to make room for the demon.
What?
The demon needs some space, man.
Shoot, you're ruining my argument, which is that, if the one's an inch taller, I thought they're supposed to be genetically identical.
Oh, I didn't even pick pick up on that.
Wait a minute. They're
Dan.
not identical.
You mean
So either they're not identical twins, as we're claiming,
what?
or being an identical twin doesn't mean that everything is exactly the same.
You mean the exact same genetic makeup
Can
have
have
slightly different results?
it would appear that that's possible.
What?
I am no geneticist, but it does seem like, there may be. But
okay.
but I mean, maybe
Dan.
there's possible mutations. Like maybe he got the demon gene.
Made him an inch taller.
It made him an inch taller
Mhm.
and 100% gayer.
And I have to say, their facial features are just a little different. I do have to say his straight brother's hotter. And that's usually, of course that's the case.
You're just a
Just
straight
look at
chaser.
him.
Well, there you go. All right. What are we gonna do? We'll do some emails.
Emails, Dan.
Okay, let's do some emails. We had people write in. Bob wrote into us, said, grew up in a Catholic household and was forced to go to church weekly, go to Sunday school, and be confirmed into the Catholic Church. Up until I was about 5 years old, I believed in Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and other fictional characters, but never God.
What?
I'm guessing that I believed in those other characters due to the evidence. Christmas gifts from Santa Claus, eggs and chocolate from the bunny, quarters from the Tooth Fairy. Nothing ever came from God. When I was 5, I discovered my parents leaving Santa Claus gifts under the Christmas tree, so I lost belief in those other fictional characters. As I got older, I considered myself normal, not an atheist, and considered religious people somehow psychologically handicapped.
Oh my
Never
God.
hid my atheism, but also did not flaunt it. I now live in an area that's almost entirely fundamental Christian and am looked down upon as an outcast.
Oh no.
I always try to educate the uneducated fundamentalist, but I'm finding that if it's not in the good book, it cannot be true. My question is, are there any other atheists that have always been atheists, or most former religious people that became educated and adopted atheism? I don't know the answer to that. Thanks for the email, Bob.
Yeah. Well, I personally, we'll get to his question in a second, but he kind of stumbled upon really important missing key to the whole God thing.
Yeah.
God needs to sneak around and leave things for people.
Doy. I don't know that I'd be an atheist anymore if there were presents.
That came directly from God.
Right. I mean, honestly,
So
all you Christian parents out there, if you really want to
chocolate
solidify
from
it,
Easter.
you got to leave something lying around the house sometimes on a specific day.
Yeah.
Happy God Day, everybody. Hope God leaves you some presents. What'd you get from God?
Fucking tree.
You got a tree.
I got a tree. God made a tree.
Oh, that sucks. My God gave me socks and underwear again.
He didn't make socks.
Pajamas from God.
I got a tomato.
God, yeah.
He made it. It's a miracle. I get it. I got a rainbow.
God made me a puppy.
Magnets. I got some magnets. It's a miracle.
How do those work? I'll tell you this, Bob. I would venture to say that every human being on the planet starts out as an atheist.
Isn't that a bumper sticker?
I don't know.
I think it is.
It should be.
Yeah.
Babies.
Oh, nobody's born a bigot. That's what I'm thinking of.
But also, nobody's born a Christian.
Nobody's born a Christian.
Or a Muslim or
Yeah.
a Jew.
That's a good bumper sticker.
You have to be taught those things.
Yeah.
So we're all born atheists. But no, I think your story is fairly unique.
That it strikes me as unique.
Yeah.
Doesn't match what happened to me, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Me too. Although now I want to tell all my nieces and nephews, hey, does God ever leave you presents like Santa and the Easter Bunny? Like these. I'm not sure I believe in that guy. If he doesn't leave presents, how do I know he's there?
Little bits of bread on Sunday.
Oh,
That's your present.
That's your present. Yeah. Crappy
Here's a little
bread
cup of water.
and water.
Drink it.
If you're a Mormon, that's your
Yeah.
present.
Some Wonder Bread torn up.
At very least, if you're Catholic, God leaves you wine.
Yeah.
Shitty wine, but wine.
But you get some wine.
That's good.
Yeah.
Chris wrote in and said, "Hey guys, I love the show. I broke my iPod and got behind on all my favorite podcasts, and now I'm getting caught up on the show."
It's about one of the worst things that can happen to somebody this day and age.
You can't live.
Break your iPod?
How do you live?
Holy crap!
What do you do? Listen to your shows like over on your laptop? Like my mom? Hi, Mom. It's okay. By this point in the show, she's usually asleep anyway. She won't hear. Anyway, so Chris says, I listened to TGIA number 128 where you guys talked about birthright. Do you remember birthright? This was your story about the Jewish group that takes
not literal birthright, but no, the group,
the group that takes Jewish kids to Israel, like, and it sounded really kind of fun and stuff. Now it sounds more fun because here's what Chris says about it. I'm dating a, quote, secular Jew who went on birthright over winter break and won't stop talking about it. So I have a bit of insight into the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
She came back a bit more religious and culturally Jewy, but that died down soon, after a few months. A big selling point for a lot of college students is the lower drinking age and sleeping with Israeli soldiers. A lot of the students who go are between 18 and 20, and they get super excited about being able to drink, and it's pretty much
sleep with soldiers.
And it's pretty much an unspoken rule that the program looks the other way about the soldiers coming up to the students' rooms and bringing liquor.
What?
They pretty much sell it as the spring break experience, at least at our university.
Holy crap. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Some soldier love.
All those Jews gone wild. That's hilarious.
That's fantastic.
Thanks, right. Chris. Don wrote in, "Hi guys, my wife and I are secular humanists. We were raised Christian. When we moved to a new town, we met new people. When they asked about our beliefs, I was caught between saying I'm a secular humanist and having to explain what that is, or just saying I'm not a Christian.
Oh.
I think that most people were essentially asking a, quote, part of my group or no question. Is it better to explain or just say not part of your group? Thanks. Dawn."
I like to align myself with things rather than say what I'm not and let them draw their own conclusions.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? Like saying, if somebody comes up and is like, hey, so what are you, asking you your religion.
Right.
And you go, I'm not a Christian. I don't know if that comes off very well.
Well,
I was just saying, I'm a secular humanist. Oh, really? What's that?
First of all, saying not a Christian sounds suspicious.
Yeah.
Like to a Christian ear, it's like, wait, is this a Muslim sleeper cell? What's happening? Sleeper cell.
I can't tell you much, but I can tell you I'm not a Christian.
Right. I'm not going to go into much. There is a bomb in my car, and I'm not a Christian. No, I think it's obviously up to you, and it's obviously a question of specific situations. But I think you're probably better off just saying what you do believe.
Yeah, and secular humanist, once you explain it, it comes off. I mean, if what they're doing is, are you a part of our group or not? Then you've just told them that you're not. And they might have learned something while talking to you.
Right. And the truth is that what will probably happen a lot of the time is that they won't ask you any follow-up questions because they won't want to know. You'll say secular humanist and they'll go, oh,
we've never had one of those on the block before.
And then they'll move on to a different topic of conversation because they'll be frightened.
But the point, find another bottle.
But the point is that that's the same as saying I'm not in your group. Mm-hmm. But it does give them a little bit more information, and maybe they go and look it up online. Or if they do ask you follow-up questions, you can be there to answer them, and you can say, well, actually, here's what we believe, and this is, blah, 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 and I think that's nice. Yeah. You can sort of expose them to you being a nice person who doesn't share their beliefs.
Yeah. But if you choose to do the whole I'm not a Christian, just remember how I'm not a homosexual sounds.
Yeah. It sets up a dichotomy with one thing being bad.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dichotomies aren't great. You don't really want to set that up.
Mm-hmm.
Plurality is probably better.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I'm not a homosexual. Did you see that thing from that that video from that Christian-y group that met this last week, and 2 different speakers got up and made like weird comments about, I'm not a homosexual. No, it was the weirdest thing ever. It was like, I'm glad he didn't kiss me.
Yeah.
It was like, what?
Huh?
Where did that come from?
That's
like
so
the guy
funny.
gave him like a glowing introduction, and he gets up and he says this thing, and he's like, and I'm glad he didn't kiss me.
Which always, but yeah, well, by that logic, if you say I'm not a Christian,
Yeah.
it may make them suspicious that you are a closeted Christian. Oh, he's one. Yeah, he's a Christian.
Oh.
The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Yeah. There you
That's
go.
ridiculous.
We've got some voicemails, don't we?
Yes, we do. First, I want to start off with a correction.
Oh, right. Because we're dumbasses.
Hey there, this is Jessica. I was just listening to your most recent show, and someone made an offhand comment about Zimbabwe being the country in Africa with some anti-gay legislation, and I thought I would just call and clear some of that up. I think you may have been thinking of Uganda. Uganda recently in 2014 passed the bill. People were calling it the Kill the Gays bill. Zimbabwe actually has a law on the books from the 90s prohibiting sodomy, and so it's not like Zimbabwe is a really fantastic place to be gay either, but Uganda is the one that's been in the news a whole lot recently. So that was it. Love the podcast. Keep up the good work. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, we're dumb.
It's all the same.
It's Africa.
Africa. The whole continent is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I only learned recently that it's not the country of Africa. So
wait, Africa's not a country?
I know, it's weird.
It's like
weird.
Yeah, I don't get that. I
In
don't know.
Uganda, that's the eat the poo poo, right? Isn't that where that took place?
Yes, I'm pretty sure that they eat poo poo in Uganda.
No.
I know, I'm just kidding. Yes,
Anyways.
yes, that's where that guy is from. Okay, well, we got that one wrong.
Yeah, all right.
That wasn't part of our story. As she mentions, we were just sort of throwing that out,
it was
and we got it
and
wrong.
we came up with Zimbabwe.
But thank you for the correction.
It didn't feel right, but we just needed to move on.
It's as good as we got.
Yeah.
You know what? It's close to the same part. The first letters in the same part of the alphabet.
Oh, there
U
you
and
go.
Z, they're really close.
Yeah. And we got the continent right.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot.
Everything else is nitpicking.
Yeah. I did get an A in my political geography class, though.
Oh, that's good. I didn't.
You didn't?
Well, I didn't take one.
Oh.
And I didn't get an A in anything. Certainly not in high school.
Well, this was college.
Oh, okay. I definitely didn't
Gen
take
Ed
it there.
something or other
Yeah.
that I had to take. Did an online class. Learned all the capitals of all the countries in the world. Don't ask me now.
Right.
But I got through that test. It was pretty impressive. Anyways.
Wow.
All right. And now we have another voicemail. This one. A nice little story about an incident in a jail.
Okay.
Hi, Frank and Dan. This is Brad. I work in a prison, and I'm kind of deal with the inmates a lot. I'm a case manager, and we were given paperwork from our chaplain or pamphlets to hand out to the inmates the other day. Usually the chaplain hands this stuff out himself, but he decided to just hand it to us and ask if we could just pass it all out. Actually, he gave it to our supervisors, and they asked that if we could pass them all out. And upon looking at them, they're for the inmates to give information about their children, their asses and such, so then this company could get the children's information and send them info about church and basically get them into their church services and, the stuff with kids that we don't really appreciate so much as atheists. So anyway, I threw it all out after I realized that a bunch of other case managers didn't actually hand the stuff out either. And I put a complaint to the people in charge saying that I didn't agree with it, but I just want to let you guys know that I think I did the right thing. Hopefully I will not lose my job. I will tell a story about how the inmates just threw it out themselves, if that's what it takes. So thanks for your show. It's awesome. Yeah. Bye.
Well, thank you, Brad.
That's quite a story. Maybe they've finally gotten the idea that prison should be about punishment, and they're going to do it through Christianity. But why punish the children?
Oh, no
Think
kidding.
of the children, everybody.
Well, Brad was thinking of the kids.
I know. Well,
Thank
I mean,
God.
okay, so yeah, clearly that was a super inappropriate thing for your supervisors to ask of you.
Yeah.
I do hope you don't get fired. That would be
Yeah.
uber shitty.
Well, he's not alone. That is
No.
one thing. He does say that others were not handing them out either. But boy, that's a...
And you might, if anything does go wrong, you might be able to get a group like the ACLU or some for somebody to rally around you. I don't know.
It's an interesting thing. There's a lot of sympathy out there in general, I think, for religion getting to the prisoners.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
it's such a symbol of like, oh, they're on the right track.
Well, yeah, I mean, to
save
be
their souls.
To be
now that they're-
perfectly honest, if I were in prison and I was facing a parole board, I would probably claim that I had found Jesus just to get out sooner. I'm guessing it would go a long way.
Probably.
Of course, it
But-
wouldn't make the news. Confirmed atheists found Jesus in jail. And then I'd come back out and I'd be like, fuck you, I didn't find him anyway. Ha! I lied. Bitches. I'm even worse now.
Dan, that's dumb.
What? You're dumb. How dare you?
What are you going to go to jail for?
I'm not going to go to jail.
What?
I don't want to go to jail.
Well,
If I go
you
to
need
jail,
a better plan than that, Dan.
If I go to jail,
If you want to pull this whole thing off, you got to come up with something.
I do.
Okay.
I just don't know.
Something that will get you in front of a parole board.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'll need to come up with that. I don't know. I'm gonna moon the Supreme Court or something.
Well, that would do it.
It'd get me in jail, but it wouldn't get me in prison.
Yeah. You need prison time.
Yeah.
You need a felony. Dan.
This is gonna be tough. Anyway, we have some donors that I wanted to mention.
Let's thank the donors.
We have some great donors. Well, Ryan donated. He made a one-time donation that we really appreciate. Thanks, Ryan. Chris, also a very nice one-time donation, and had a message that said, just saying thanks for the awesome podcast work for the years I've been a listener.
Oh.
Not to beat a dead horse, but you really helped me get past my angry atheist phase and to move on to more productive and accepting uses of my time.
Well, fantastic.
That feels
thank
good
you.
when you say that to us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chris. And Don, an incredibly generous one-time donation from Don. So thank you guys very much. If you want to help with the cause, dear listeners, you can do so by going to thankgodimatheist.com and clicking on the support tab there.
Indeed.
Do we have something to talk about?
Kinda.
Okay.
So this was, I want to start our little conversation about Mormons and Jews with this. There was this thing that popped up in the Salt Lake Tribune. Peggy Fletcher Stack mentioned it about the founder of BuzzFeed.
Oh, yeah.
Also, who was also one of the founders of the Huffington Post, Jonah Peretti.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that name sounds familiar to you. But he recently did a little speechy thing at the University of Florida.
Okay.
And during it, he was talking about sort of the quality of ideas that get out there on the internet.
Right.
I mean, BuzzFeed, for people who don't know, it is just about what is sort of the most viral, the most looked at, the most sort of popular thing out on the web.
Right.
And they're starting to do some really cool stuff. They're actually starting to do some long form journalism. They've opened up some bureaus, some journalistic bureaus.
Really?
They do real reporting now. But they also do, cat videos.
Right.
And top 10 things to do this summer.
Yeah.
To not get
all I
yourself
ever see is
whatever.
lists of
25
25 weirdest pictures that I don't know what's happening in them.
Right. Exactly.
Or whatever.
That aren't vulgar, but look like it.
Right. Yeah.
And that one,
yeah.
that
Exactly.
one's scary. Oh my god, that one freaks me out. So anyway, so he was at the University of Florida, and he's making this whole point about really the popular stuff on the internet. It's these cat videos and shit, and it's not really necessarily the quality content. Quality content sometimes does go viral on its own, but it's not where it really happens.
No, usually
Right.
it's a snapshot. It's a tidbit. It's
Yeah.
a little clever.
And so he's giving this PowerPoint presentation, right? During the whole thing, he has the slides up, and he's
Right.
like, talking about this, talking about that, and all of a sudden, this slide comes up that has it says, "Which is higher quality, Judaism or Mormonism?" And it has a picture of two Hasidic Jews and two Mormon missionaries.
Sure.
And those two photos are side by side, and he poses this question, and then he points out that, let me see if I can find, if I still have that open. I don't think. Oh no, here it is. Let me get down to the thing. He points out that, oh shit, there it was. It was right there. He has these performance metrics, right,
Okay.
of Jews and Mormons.
Sure.
So he's looking at the numbers of Mormons in the world in, let me just expand that so I can get a good look at that. Oh, maybe I'll zoom. There we go. So in 1950, is that right? 1950? There were, God, it looks like maybe 1 million Mormons worldwide.
Sure.
And there were over 11 million Jews worldwide.
Okay.
And then he fast forwards to 2014, and there's over 14 million Mormons, ostensibly. And the numbers of Jews have they went up, and then they went down, and they're they're probably around like 13 million, 12.5 million, somewhere.
Oh.
It's a bar graph. I'm having a hard time sort of pinning down the number.
Right.
But his point is, again, going back to his question, which is higher quality, Judaism or Mormonism? Well, his whole thing is, you get the point that he's making, right? That it's not necessarily the higher quality religion that wins the most, that gets the best performance metrics, right?
Because Judaism is clearly, that's the good stuff. That's the high quality shit right there.
Clearly.
Mormonism is like, the
Jews have got it figured out.
Mormonism.
When it comes to religion, that's some high quality religion.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. That's the good shit.
But Mormonism is performing. They're outperforming Judaism on every metric.
And so it's what is it? Well, it's the tenacity of the spreaders of the message. They have so many people willing to spread the message, and they're just relentless.
Yeah.
Jews don't do that.
No.
And
They've been resting on their laurels.
Yeah.
Come on, Jews, get your act together.
And then so he has two slides that say that, and then all of a sudden it's just back to his actually, I looked through all the slides for the whole thing. Somebody posted them online. It's fantastic. Like it's a very, very good talk, it looks like. I would love to hear what he said that went along with these slides, because he's making some really interesting points about like how BuzzFeed knows which things to promote and
how to go viral.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And knowing what's going to go viral. More than even like how to do it, but being able to look at something and go, that's the next viral thing.
Yeah. They're good at it.
And they're good at it.
It's mostly baby animals.
Yeah. Well, and he has this thing at the whole end. This is actually, I'm just going to totally deviate since you mentioned that.
Uh-huh.
He talks about, was it the Voight-Kampff test? The thing where the computer, see if somebody's, if you're talking to a computer, or if you're talking to chatting with a computer or chatting with a human on the other end of the computer.
Right.
Right. And so he's like ready for the test, and he puts up pictures of like sleeping dogs and gerbils and cats and little baby monkeys and kittens and
Yeah.
a baby giraffe. It's all baby animals. A baby pig. There's a chihuahua carrying a purse walking down the street on its hind legs. And he's like, how are you feeling? If you feel emotion, you are human. And so I don't know
There
what
you
that
go.
means. But
Well,
even he knows. He knows what the good shit is.
it's baby animals.
It's baby animals.
That's how you win.
We need, Dan, and the point I'm going to take from this is we need more baby animals on the show.
TGIA. It's thank God animals. Thank God.
Thank God it's animals.
Thank God for infant animals. That's what that stands for now. That's the new thing.
For infant animals. Yeah.
So this just got us thinking about Mormons and Jews in general, and we haven't talked about the link between Mormonism and Judaism for a little while.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to just go. It's so cute. It's so adorable how the Mormons. Okay, first of all, you guys need to know, if you haven't listened, we said it before, but it's been a while. Mormons think they're Jews.
Yeah. And all y'all, including the Jews, are Gentiles.
Right. Non-Mormons are the Gentiles, and they don't say it this way, but they think they're Jews. They think that they've inherited sort of they're adopted into Judaism.
Yeah,
but they've inherited God's preferred status.
Well, they're
as God's chosen people.
they're Judeophiles.
They are Judeophiles. Or what was the other word that we learned?
Judeophilia.
Oh no, Philo-Semitic.
Oh, that's what it is.
They're Philo-Semitic.
They actually describe themselves as Philo-Semitic, which I had never heard that before.
Me neither. Yeah. Doctrinally Philo-Semitic.
What does that mean, Dan?
I don't know. It means that they love Jews. The thing is that there was this whole okay, so here are some links, just so you know. First of all, Mormonism started with a book that claimed that the Native Americans, the natives of the American continent, that were here when
i.e. the Native Americans.
right.
Okay.
When the Europeans showed up, they're descended not from sort of proto-Asians that came across the Bering Strait,
No, yeah,
but
clearly.
but they're descended from Jews who came in a boat all the way across all of the oceans and things.
Well, it does make more sense, the whole Bering Strait thing.
Well, yeah.
Because I've been up there.
How are they going to walk that far?
It's covered in water.
Right.
There's water everywhere.
Yeah. You can't walk across.
And it's cold. That's
Right.
the other thing people don't know about up there in the Bering Strait and shit. It's cold.
Yeah. Yeah. And
People
even
are just going to walk through there? No.
Even
They're clearly
if-
going to build a boat and get on it and float over here
from Israel.
from Israel.
Right. Because, you know what? And even if the Bering Strait were connected by a landmass, even if Asia and Alaska were connected,
Mm-hmm.
Alaska has a lot of militia people. It's well protected. They wouldn't let the Asians cross.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way that Sarah Palin would let a bunch of Asians just walk into our country.
The whole theory falls apart.
It's clearly
if you just
not
look
true.
at it.
If you just think about it for 5 seconds,
Yeah.
and only 5 seconds,
And then stop.
and then stop thinking.
completely.
Anyway,
makes perfect sense.
so that's the first connection that Mormonism has to Judaism, is that they have the answer for where the Native Americans came from, and that answer is Israel.
They're Jews.
They're Jews. And then there's this whole like Mormons connect on, and I'm not saying individual Mormons. Like, if you meet a Mormon on the street and you say, "Hey, do you think you're a Jew?" they're not going to say yes. But Mormonism as a doctrine has such deep ties. Like the way that the early church founders talked about themselves.
Yeah.
And literally, like, if you look up Gentile in dictionaries, like many dictionaries list as like a second definition, a non-Mormon. It's
That's
amazing because
crazy
this was
town.
how they used to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Mormons connect their pilgrimage across the American continent to the Exodus.
They call it an Exodus.
Yes, they do.
Or the Mormon Exodus.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's pretty cute. Which, by the way, I'll point this out again. When I went, I just decided to do a side by side comparison: Mormon Exodus to the Jewish Exodus that led by Moses.
Mm-hmm.
The Jews did not make it very far. The Mormons have them beat like by a long shot.
It's always was very strange to me that it took 40 years. I thought it was a really, really, really long, far away place.
Yeah, you read the book and it sounds like it's like the grandest, most epic migration of all human time.
Right.
And it's like, maybe 40 miles or something.
Yeah.
50 mile. I don't know. I mean, Israel's not a big area.
No.
They did not go, and well, I guess their exodus was out of
They
Egypt.
did have to leave Egypt, to be fair.
But I when I looked up like going from point A to point B, yeah, they just didn't go that far. I was very disappointed in the Jews.
It's really just a day trip.
They were just making a big deal out of nothing.
And there's all this manna from heaven.
Yeah, food just gets dropped down for you for free.
Yeah.
The Mormons had to make
hello.
their own food.
Can't you just like stop at like a convenience store?
Right?
Like, weren't there gas stations along the way?
No, but there weren't for Mormons either. But they didn't get no
That's true.
God-sent
They didn't.
food on the ground.
But see, I
Which
know
is
it
good
was
because
different.
it's dirty.
I
It's
know
on
it was
the ground.
different, but I played that Oregon Trail game when I was a kid. I know how to get across this country.
Let me tell you how many Mormons died of dysentery. I don't know how many Mormons.
Oh, that
I was
awful.
going with the Oregon Trail.
Right.
Everybody dies
I'd
of
already moved
dysentery.
on. Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah.
It was always fun to hunt.
Yes. Mormons claim that they were. They claim that they're of the house of Israel.
Yeah.
And they, we talked just a month or two ago about all the tribes that Mormons claim that they're from: the tribe of Manasseh, the tribe of Ephraim.
Mm-hmm.
These are all sort of the tribes of Israel, which is funny because, they just make that shit up. They just assign you a tribe,
Yeah.
for no reason.
I mean, they know which way they're supposed to go.
Yeah, yeah, but there's some
They're
play
supposed
there.
to be but they're not supposed to get all liberal with the whole Manasseh shit. And
Right.
Definitely no tribe of Aaron.
Right.
Is that where you're going?
Well, no. I mean, there is this whole Aaron thing. In Judaism, if you are a direct descendant of Aaron, who was Moses' brother,
Mm-hmm.
then you are considered you're a Kohen, which means that you are of a priestly class. You're a priest or something,
And you make really good movies.
and you make really good if you have a brother.
Yeah.
And the Mormons sort of caught on to this and said if you were of the tribe of Aaron when you got your patriarchal blessing, then you became a bishop automatically. So there's a lot of parallels happening here.
Oh, so many. That's amazing.
Jews have weird dietary restrictions. Mormons have weird dietary restrictions.
Oh, and the Mormons in the temple, at least the Salt Lake Temple, they have they have a Holy of Holies.
Yeah,
The Jews had that.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
in their
whole
temple.
Mormon temple is theoretically sort of loosely designed off of the temple in the Bible.
They say that
The
it is.
Jewish temple. Yeah,
They say that it is, and clearly it's not.
it's
but-
clearly not. Yeah, but yeah, I mean it.
Well, and here I wanted to read the 10th article of faith.
Oh, this is
because there's the 13 articles of faith.
Yeah,
Mormons have.
Mormons have these these are just written out.
These are we believe statements
Indeed.
that Joseph Smith wrote.
It's a mission statement.
Yeah. And the 10th article of faith says, we believe in the literal gathering of Israel and in the restoration of the 10 tribes, that Zion, the New Jerusalem, will be built upon the American continent, that Christ will reign personally upon the earth, and that the earth will be renewed and receive its paradisical glory.
Yeah. So and
The New Jerusalem.
the New Jerusalem's here. Now that doesn't stop Mormons from caring about the Old Jerusalem because they have a whole BYU, the Mormon university, has a whole campus or a whole group there in Jerusalem doing the good work of the same thing that basically that stupid Southern Baptist group was doing, which is just like archaeological work that hopefully supports our point of view.
Right.
and
There's some of
whatever.
that. There's also just, BYU students go and do a semester in Jerusalem
Right.
type deal and take some overload on religion classes.
Right.
Get all their religion classes taken care of.
It is interesting because all these evangelical Christian sects really, really connect to Israel, but that's because they think that Jesus is going to come back and then they get Israel.
Right.
The Christians get Israel. So it's like buddy up to the Jews until it's time for them to give up Israel and give it back to us Christians. The Mormons don't think that. The Mormons are like, we love Israel and you can have it because Jackson County, Missouri is where the new Jerusalem's going to be. Don't even worry about it. We got Missouri. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Jerusalem's for the Jews, right? Isn't that the thing?
Yeah, sure.
I can't remember how it all works. There's some weird thing. I can't remember.
Oh, it's so funny.
Mormons are funny.
Yeah. So if you want to learn more, there's some really interesting online reading material that you can go to. There's even a Wikipedia page called Mormonism and Judaism.
Yeah.
That's an interesting page. But we just thought that was funny. But the Mormons are winning.
Oh yeah, no, they're totally winning.
According to BuzzFeed guy. And the truth is, of course they're winning. They have a huge marketing apparatus in place.
Yeah, and that's his point.
The Jews are just not marketing.
Exactly.
Get on it, Jews.
If they would add marketing, they have the higher quality product.
Right.
So they could be huge.
Yeah. But they're just not. They're letting it wilt on the vine.
I mean, you talk to a Jew about what they believe and blah blah blah. It's not that bad.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I mean,
It's better than the crap that they have.
The more fundamentalist any religion gets, the worse off.
I'm talking about like Reform Judaism.
Sure.
I'm not talking about like Hasidic blah blah blah.
Yeah, no,
Right?
you get into the ultra orthodox stuff and like, you can't push a button on the Sabbath. And
No, dear God, no.
a bunch of arbitrary rules.
No.
Their hats get weirder.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
the
that.
The deeper in you go, the weirder the hats get.
Not that. I'm talking about like Reform and all that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hell, you talk to most of those Jews and they don't even believe. They're just culturally Jewish.
I know a Jewish convert who is now atheist who still holds on to her Judaism.
Wait, she converted to Judaism?
Yeah.
And then she left the beliefs.
Then she became atheist. She accepted her atheism.
Okay.
But she still is an observing Jew. I think it's amazing. Like there's something
I don't know what to do with that.
I don't know what to do with it either, and that's what I think is amazing about it.
That
because
is amazing.
It's wonderfully complicated.
She's fucking Walter on The Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
but not crazy.
But not crazy. Yeah. Sure. I just think that's awesome.
Yeah.
She must just really like the food.
Maybe.
She's super into matzo ball soup. She didn't want to have to give that up just because she doesn't believe in God anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. So it's a crazy world we live in.
Yep. If you have any cute stories about Mormons and Jews and and Mormonism and Judaism, I'd like to call out. Is there a word that we can use to combine them? Muse,
No.
Jormans, Morgan.
It doesn't work.
No, there's nothing.
They do. It's not two words that want to be combined.
No.
We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll figure it out.
We'll sort it
That's
out.
A challenge.
If
That's a challenge for our listeners.
Yes, exactly. If you have an idea for how to combine those two words or any stories about Mormons and Jews or anything else that you want to bring to our attention, you can do so by writing to us at podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you can leave us a voicemail at 424-666-8442.
Yeah, or jump on the Facebook page and stuff.
Jumans.
That just sounds like a deli. Come to Juman's Deli. I like Jumans. That's good.
Jumans.
Come to the Facebook page and see what Mackenzie's posting out there. That's facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
Yeah, and of course, thank you, Mackenzie.
Yeah, for all of your hard work.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Red Rock Hot Club for the music that we play every week that we so enjoy.
Yeah.
And thanks to you, dear listener, for listening.
We sure do like you.
We do indeed. See you next week.
All right, bye-bye.